Hari Om and welcome to all the Divine Atma Jyotis to today's AVSC Satsang. Let us continue our contemplation based on the questions we have formed on the talks of Sri Prabhuji on the topic of Aparoksha Anubbhti. Right now, we are contemplating the questions from the Day-7 talk, and we have, in our last session, completed the first three questions. Karya Karana Sambandha. What is it and why is it being taught? And during that process, we also came up with this picture that is being seen here, in which explains how the Karya Karana Sambandha in terms of how it happens. So today we can focus on questions from 4 onwards. Is Karya is nothing but karma, and Karana nothing but Karta. In a way, we touched upon question 5.
Yeah.
Again, we can touch upon it. And we can conclude with the two realities, imminent and transcendent. So that's the focus for today. Before we get started, Manasaji, is this okay? Have you been able to see some of the Aparoksha Anubbhti videos? Where are you?
Yeah, I saw that, but I don't say like I understood everything. So I would listen what others say, and then I'll attempt to explain mine.
Wonderful, Ji. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So then let's pick up question 4. Let's ask the questioner who framed this question, Padmaji.
Yeah, I think the answer is yes. That's why I framed the question. So any action is karma only. So how I was, why I brought this question is, when we establish the Karya Karana Sambandha and we ultimately negated both and arrived at Sarvam Khalvidam Brahman, or everything is Brahman, I think then in that sense the Karana or the cause is also the doer. So there is a wrong understanding within us that I am the doer. However, there is an existential reality under which all this is going, or that is the witness to all that is happening, or is the happening that we see all around. So that is why I made the statement that yes, I asked the question, but my answer is yes. Karya is karma and Karana is the Karta, is what I feel.
And in the context of a particular change happening in your day-to-day life, Padmaji, how do you relate to this? Can you use an example and illustrate what you mean?
In the sense that you are talking about why I am saying that the Karana is the Karta, like that. For that, you are wanting me to take an example.
Use any simple day-to-day life example, and how do you connect that? Yeah.
Okay. So I think okay, if I take the example of what I do every day. So I play different roles in a day. So one is a role as a as a woman, I play a role as a wife, I play a role as a mother, I play a role. So all these roles have different duties and responsibilities. However, when I undertake any job, anything that I have to perform, whether it is cooking, do I really know how to cook? Mm, I can relate this to the first time probably that I cooked. So I am someone who has never cooked till I got married. So I didn't know. I haven't made even probably only a cup of tea or coffee I have made. I have not done any other cooking before marriage. So when I got married and I was not in India, so I went grocery shopping alone. And I had one bright idea of making rava upma that day. And I went to the store, and I remember in UK, I couldn't when I went to the store, there were so many things that looked like rava. So since I had never cooked it before, I didn't know which is the rava. So instead of rava, there is one famous thing now which they call couscous, and I didn't know what that is at that time. I hadn't even
Call it
heard of
what? Call it what?
couscous. Cous. They make some dishes with that, but it looks like rava. Okay, but it's a more fatter grain. So I
But
didn't
it's
know
also
it.
made
it,
from
it
wheat, is it?
yeah. So I didn't know what is that, and the letters were also very small in that. So I didn't bother, because in India there might not be anything else other than rava, right? So I have seen rava in different sizes, grains. So uh, there is a big one, no, which we get here, like that, and the finer grain. These two things I knew that it's there, but that also I've never bought. So I ended up buying this new grain. So my task is accomplished. I thought, okay, I've got rava. I came home, and then that time internet was not so so prevalent, and I couldn't call my mom. So with whatever little knowledge I knew how to do, I I I cooked it, and then when my husband comes at 7, I am saying, okay, wow, I have made this rava upma today. This is dinner. And the beauty is I didn't even taste it. So it all looked very nice with and then I served it, and he was eating it very silently. And I am expecting some reply, because probably that's the first time I've made something. So, and then he said, okay, what is this? So I said, yeah, this is rava upma. And then he said, okay. So I said, is it nice? So he said, yeah, it's nice. That's what he said. It's nice. So then I sat down and I started eating. So yeah, it was not bad, but it was not the rava upma that my mom makes. So so I started asking him, is this how rava upma tastes? Is this rava upma? Then he said, you tell me, you made it. You are saying it's a rava upma. So, and then I thought, okay, I should maybe, go and research in that shop again tomorrow. So next day I again go. So this guy, the owner of that shop is a Pakistani. So that guy speaks Hindi and all. So I went and I told him, Acha, what is this that I got yesterday? What is this? And then he went on to explain that, oh, this is not rava. And then he went to that ale and he got me the rava, and he said, Ye rava hai, madam. And then I said, okay. And then I got the rava that day, and then I made that also. So then I got to actually know, okay, there is something called this also, which I am not aware of at all. So I think everything in life is uh, like that. However, I feel that because uh, my husband wasn't judgmental about uh, what was made, and so it kind of encouraged me to go and at least do the research. If his reaction would have been, or response would have been something negative, probably it would have, discouraged me or put me down. So again, that was one time when I didn't know anything. There is one humility in how you uh, how you, what do you say, I can't say action, in how even in thinking about that process, because you don't know, so you are willing to try, you are less judgmental, uh, and the intention behind that whole thing was pure. It was like, I want to offer something nice in the evening to someone who's coming. uh, it was like that. But now after several years of doing that on a day to day basis, and over the course of time knowing many things, now maybe sometimes you tend to, like, okay, I know how to make this dish very well. That sort of creeps in once you start knowing more and more about a particular thing. So the ego starts claiming. However, after I moved into Vedanta, I think I have started thinking, do I really know how to make? Like last week also, I told the example of how after the surgery, I didn't know how to brush the teeth. I was thinking whether the head moves, the hand moves, and all that. So I have uh, I have kind of contemplated on all these things. Really, can I do? There is something powerful than what I see as myself in the mirror. This body, the size, the shape, and the height. All this put together, I call myself as me. Uh, but who is the real me? What is the greater power within me which has enabled all this? uh, if you go back in your life and look at what all has happened in your life, from say whenever you were aware of more aware of the things or activities that has happened, uh, so what I have realized is, uh, there is not a single moment in the life where you are alone and doing. The universe has been so uh, magnanimous to you, that you're always surrounded by loved ones, you're always protected. uh, I remember when I was in I think first grade, I fell down and I broke my hand. uh, it was on the it was on the road, and some guy picked me up. Some guy took me to the hospital. He made sure my father was called. Until my father came, I was taken care of by all strangers. I didn't know even a single one of them. uh, and I was really very scared at that age. But somewhere I trusted all of them. They surrounded me. They tied my hands with ruler and all that, because the place where we were, it was not equipped to deal with such things, so it had to be done next day. My father had to take me somewhere 60-70 kilometers away, so it was not possible that day. So they ensured that I was well taken care of. So I still remember those faces, even though it was such a young age. I remember those people who did that for me. And if I go back and think, they had no reason to be uh, good to me. Like, there is no association I had or relation I had with any of them, but they went on to do something good for someone. So that feeling, I think I have experienced all through my life. Wherever I have been, I have had someone whom I can approach, who has helped me. And I think that is what you need to. So it is not just you being able to function in any role, I feel. Even at home, I think we take our relationships itself for granted, right? Whether it's our child, whether it's our husband or anyone around us. When we fall sick, there are few people to come and give you what you need. There is someone to take you to the hospital. So like that, you are always, I think, taken care of in multiple ways. It's just that when your expectations are too high, or you associate that, okay, in this situation I expect this, and when that is not met, then all the problems arise. And then, as if you are doing everything, then the thing starts that, oh, I do so much and so for this in the various roles, and I have not got in return what I expected. Otherwise, there is nothing, right? What is there to expect? Because in situations where your family, immediate family, was not around, who you think or who you expect to do certain things, even in those situations, you have been taken care of perfectly. Even when you didn't know what was needed, somebody did what was needed. At that moment, what was needed came to you so freely, without even asking. So I have experienced that only in if I think about my life till now. And I in a way, after coming into Vedanta, I feel uh, that has taken a deep rooted thing in me, that no matter what, I am protected, no matter what, I am taken care of. uh, if something comes to me, then that is best for me. If something did not come to me which I was hoping would come, then I conclude nowadays that that was not the best for me, that's why it didn't come. So the trust and the faith uh, that I have now has increased tremendously on that higher power. uh, and as we go deeper into Vedanta, we know that that higher power is nothing else but that's who you truly are. So, and one more thing what I have realized is the thought that because you are there, everything else is there. If you are not there tomorrow, nothing is there. uh, I think that's a bit scary also initially, uh, because for the ego to think that okay, nothing is there is huge because you have the entire lifetime has been spent in collecting, accumulating. So suddenly to think that nothing is there is not easy. But over the period of time, I think as the thought is is going deep rooted, you start to accept that truth, that is the truth, right? Because you are there, everything else is there. If you are not there, there is nothing. That's how I relate it, sir, in my day-to-day life also. So what has actually come out from that is uh, you are more peaceful, there is less anxiety, uh, there are less regrets, that okay, this should have about the past, that this should have been like this, like that. All those thoughts have reduced. Then the anxiety and the worry that we have about the future, that is also reduced. uh, so it's helped in many ways. So you are more calmer as a person, that enables you to think better, that enables you to have more clarity on what is needed at this moment. So yeah, that's how I connect all this, and the impact of this in my life is this.
Excellent, Padmaji. Thank you very much for sharing all those wonderful insights. I just want to ask two clarifying things.
Hmm.
You mentioned less regrets and less anxieties.
Hmm.
Can you clarify what you mean by that?
Less is not the right word to be used. Yeah. So I don't have any regret of the past. What I am today is the uh, result of all that past experiences. Where I stand right now is a culmination of all that has happened in the past. So there is no regret or there is no happiness. It just, I think, gradually led you to what you are today, where you stand, and who you are, and how you have evolved. And one thing I have realized is, uh, in this spiritual path, uh, or even generally, I think, even those who are not in the spiritual path, the universe is only helping you to evolve to your higher, I feel. So it is just that, uh, if I speak about only myself, then I mean, there is only myself, so I can only speak about that. But uh, I'm just saying, even when you observe around you, all the people that you're associating with or interacting with, I think everyone is on that same journey. It is that just that some are ahead of you, some are behind of you, some are together with you. Uh, that is all the differences, I feel. Anyways, everybody is going towards that one goal, is how I see now. Earlier, it was like, okay, I am on the spiritual path, rest of them aren't. But now I feel that everybody eventually will go there. It is just about the time, or maybe what is more important in their life right now, or maybe they don't have the knowledge, so they can't see it, that they are also spiritually evolving. uh, and I think, uh, so less is not the correct word to have used. I have no regrets about the past. In fact, it is what that has shaped me to who I am today. And the trust that I was mentioning is the trust that I have, that what is unfolding now and leading me to the future will also be only the best. It will also evolve me only in ways that I don't know. It will help me uh, to let go of my conditioning, is what I feel. Because till now also, I if I think deeply, I think there are many conditionings that I have crossed over. My belief system about the fear of doctors, the fear of the various medical procedures, all that I could overcome only by going through them. So if I really see, it was it was helpful in overcoming all that. So I have evolved only. I cannot say at any instant that there was a setback or I felt like I'm going back. No. If I look at my life, I have always gone ahead only in every aspect. And that is how it will be further also. That trust has become very deep within.
Thank you, Ji. Any questions for Padma Ji? Hari Om, Deepa Ji.
Hari Om.
Hari Om, everyone.
Hari Om, Ji.
So Padma ji, you still see the other, and you want them to follow you.
You are the other Sarvanji. All this small box in my screen is all other. No, I think okay, the understanding that I am the only one is needed. But then there is a role to be played in the creation, right? So in the existence outside that we are experiencing, the interacting, the world we interact. So if we interact with the knowledge of who you really are, I think there is a difference in how you interact. There are less things you hold on to. There are less things. Sorry, again I use the word less. Uh, you are you are not so judgmental, or you have experienced judgment before, so you know that that's not going to help anyone, is what I have found. I mean, that is one thing I've discovered lately. uh, I can be judged, or I can judge someone, but how is that really going to help someone? If I truly feel that okay, there is this problem with someone, or I have been able to see it, the best course would be for me to be honest and tell that to that person, right? That would be more constructive and helpful, rather than just making a statement that this person did this, or why he's always doing this. That's not constructive, is how I have seen in my thing now. So if I see that, or if I notice that I can't tell someone that honestly, then then I should be not making that judgment at all. Because like I said, that's what I believe. Everybody is evolving. So who are you to say that this person has not uh, evolved? Or again, there will be one superiority when you say that, right? You think you are evolved, so you think everyone else is less evolved, or why they are not doing that. Like initially when I started all this, I used to be so I don't know, that ego only, I think, spiritual ego. And then I used to think, why all these people in my house are not doing this? Why I am the only one? And they and mostly I am on speaker only. So it's not like they cannot hear or they are not around me. So I used to think, okay, see, they can hear all this, they can hear Guruji's voice, and why they can't sit and listen? They don't even come near me to even look at the screen and watch the video or anything. They don't even ask about it. So, oh, these people have long way to go, something like that. So, and then one day I go and ask this question to Guruji also, that how can I help my family member or something like that, I said. And then Guruji had his usual laugh, and then he said, who wants realization? Who wants self-realization? And then there was nobody except me. So then he said, okay, so if you want self-realization, you do what you're supposed to do. Why you want to talk about why he is not doing or how I can help him? First, you help yourself, was the message I got. And there is only, of course, he is coming from, he's a Jnana Murti, so he knew what he was telling. Even at that time, I felt, why Guruji is saying like that? If I am experiencing something good, shouldn't I be sharing it? That was my whole point at that time also, when I wanted to say that. But then a little later, going forward, I understood that that is not something you cannot force somebody uh, to do something. Not only spirituality, I feel even with our kids, if I see, to a large extent, yes, as a parent, as someone under whom they are, or that's what we think, and that's the conditioning we say, they agree to most of the things. They might not really think that is right, but still they agree to most of the things that we say. Probably because they don't have much power, right? They don't have the financial power. So to some extent they can rebel and all that, but eventually they do follow. Somewhere one compromise is there, halfway you, halfway me, something like that. Or it may be full way only the adult, but that is how it's functioning. But yeah, so in that sense, yes, to interact with the world, you have to separate yourself. So then there are multiple roles, including you also one role, and other people are playing different roles.
Is it
But
possible that the others will disappear uh, as you evolve?
yes, they are supposed to disappear, isn't it? You are the only one. So they have to disappear. Slowly disappear, maybe.
Until then, you are interacting with others and trying to see if you can help them and get them.
Yeah. No, so see, the only place where you can actually notice if there is any transformation, I feel, for me at least, it is within my family first. Because I think as far as I am concerned,
Still
I
you
am
are
very,
still you
yeah,
are in that space of
yeah,
comparison.
So
I
here
and
ego only, ego is talking. But when normally, see how I evaluate myself is, when I'm normally with you all or any outside people, I am I'm usually very uh, I cannot say that I am myself at all times with everyone. Okay. In the sense that I might be upset, but I may not be showing it because it is someone outside my family. But within my family, I freely express myself is what I think. So that is the first place for me that I can notice the transformations that has happened with me. So earlier, the points that used to trigger me or that used to upset me, uh, that's not there anymore. So the way I interact with them or respond to them is different now. Um, I'm able to notice my angers quicker now. I'm able to notice that, okay, something is making me change from within, so I have to get it under my control. So all these things have are the subtle transformations, I think. And it takes a time before you're able to notice. Maybe others are able to notice it first. I also find that uh, I have been I have to express my thoughts. That's something important for me. Topic can be anything, but I have to express my thoughts. If I have that thing to talk, I may sometimes not even like I have started practicing that now only lately. Sir has been telling me for a long time now. Why don't you record yourself and listen to it? So I didn't follow that before. So I would think many times, oh, he said that. Maybe I should listen. Maybe I should listen. But I never got to do that. Now I have started to do that. So I think after the Gita recording is where I started, because uh, when he asked me to do the recording, I had one thing within me. Although I chant well the shlokas, and I love chanting, but somehow I used to have one thought that my voice doesn't sound good in a recording. I used to think that. So uh, so the first I think after a month or so, I have been thinking that, but I never told sir. I continued the recording, but because for me it was like, okay, it's Krishna's work, so I should do it. There must be a reason I was chosen, or sir chose me. That would be my thing. After a month or so, some unknown person they called, and they spoke in Kannada, and they said, Padmaji, I got your number from this. I just called to say that you chant so well. I like your voice. It is very soothing. Was that person who said that. So that was my first point that, oh, okay. So here I was thinking that my voice is doesn't sound good, and this person finds it soothing. So I still didn't give much weightage, because obviously the belief that you're not sounding good is more deep rooted than this one comment, right, by a stranger. Then as I started, I did one audio recording for my kids, the 126 shloka and the dhyana shloka. And there is one child in my group who is uh, who is not able to attend classes. She just attend first few weeks, and then now that child uh, in some ways there is some difficulty for her, but she completed the dhyana shlokas recently with my recording. And that child, after each shloka she learns, she will send a voice recording, and she calls me Guruji. So she'll say, uh, Guruji, can you send me the next audio? That will be her word. So the recording will come and then this message will come. And then like that, she finished the entire Dhyana Shloka. And then last week, she asked me to send the Gita Shloka. So I did. And post that, there was some other child whose name is Vishnu. So the mother again calls me. This time also, the mother doesn't know any other language. So she just starts to talk to me in Kannada. And then she said that this child has similar thing. The elder one also is in my class. So that child chants very beautifully. So the mother was facing this, that why the younger one is not able to chant. And then she also leaves this kind of voice messages, like your voice is very attracting, you pull the children towards you, these kind of things. And then finally I thought to myself, okay, all these are clues that my voice doesn't have to sound good, it doesn't have to sound in a particular way, but if that sound is able to attract someone to come into this path, to learn that shlokas, that is what is the purpose of that voice ultimately, isn't it? Of that chanting. Why you want to chant? I chant because I love to chant. I can chant any time of the day. If I have any problem, I just take that book of Guruji and I will just chant. I will chant loudly in my house. So I love any chanting, any shloka, I will chant very loudly. Uh, so I think that love is what translated through the voice to all of them. Because I always think that you should be able to chant like that. I feel that is what Krishna loves to hear. That's what I think. So when I chant, so I think that love only got translated through that voice. And I was so small in thinking that, okay, this voice is not sounding good, or it is not sounding good in recording. Why even I needed to think about that? Because what that voice has to do, it is doing. In that recording that I sent to my kids, there is no video. So the only thing they connect to is that sound. And many people, many kids, they come and the parents tell that, okay, they are they can say it only when they chant after you in that audio. When your audio is not there, they can't chant. So all these things, it stopped. It's not, it doesn't boost my ego anymore, but I feel it is like more like correcting my thought about my own voice. That is what it was instrumental in. So at one point, without my realization itself, I stopped thinking about how my voice sounds. It's just doing its job, is how I uh, think now. Okay. And I look forward now to the recording sessions with sir, because I feel, okay, this is one task given to me by Krishna, so I have to complete it well. So then it became more nice for me when I used to record with sir. Earlier there used to be something, uh, and I used to feel why sir is not chanting and then I will repeat after him, why he should repeat after me. All this used to run in the background, although I am doing what he said, but these things used to run. And then I used to think, okay, I think him also as a guru. So I feel, okay, whatever he says, for me, that's one thing. Whether it's Guruji or whether it's him, if he asks, it is okay. It's good for me. I'll do it. That's the first thought. So I just continued it, and that is how it transformed for me. So now I feel, okay, if someone is able to uh, learn from your voice, nothing like it. You don't know who is connecting to that voice. You don't know who is watching that YouTube video which is going. Anyone can pick it up and learn. And if I can be a medium for that, nothing like it. That's how I see it now. So that thought that my voice is sounding this way, that way, that changed within me, that transformed within me. I don't give importance to it now. That is not the reason why I should not chant because I sound good or because it's sounding better for others. That's not the evaluation now you have. So So that
So
is
the
when I,
others helped you realize your voice.
yeah, but there are there really any other Sarananji? That's what I was thinking in this whole episode. No one ever came and told me that your voice doesn't sound good.
Mm.
It was my own, yeah, my own some thought, right? I don't sound good. Why I had that thought? I don't know. What is it connected to? I don't know,
So,
because
so the
I don't
question is
remember
now
anything that.
do you still need the others to tell you?
No, so that is how it helped me, I feel. So, and I'm really uh, grateful, when I started this kids batch also, I was not so keen on it. Sir used to keep on saying, why don't you teach? And then I chose my easiest and most loved way is, okay, I will do kids, because they are the best. So the thing at that time also, what was the thing? It was like, kids won't ask much questions. That was my that was my logic. Okay, adults might come up with some questions that I may not be able to answer. I don't have the confidence, so better choose kids. They are easy. They won't ask all these questions. They will just learn and leave. And then I end up with Ram Sharan. He is the, what do you say, the churner of, uh, for me. Whether it was Bhagavad Gita, he was churning me alone. Now in Bhagavatam, he churns both me and Shubha. He will come up with such questions, he will come up with. So last week we spoke about Bali Chakravarti. And then every other child will listen if you say that Indra came and conquered Swarga. But this guy will not agree to all those things. So he will say, so which was this Bali Chakravarti Raja of which place? And why did he go and attack this Indra? What was the reason he went and attacked Indra? And when you say that he was a grandson of Prahalada and he is also a great devotee, all this, so he will say, so uh, the whole Kula is Asura, but they are also very big devotees of Sri Krishna. So they are like, he will ask questions like, so what happened in his mind that he had to go and attack? So then we start thinking, okay, if it was adult, they won't ask at least these kind of questions. And then one day he suddenly comes up and he says, what is this yawning astra? He said, okay, we mentioned about some yawning astra. And then he said, okay, what is this yawning astra and where was it first used? And then I and Shubha, of course, we always say that, okay, we don't know all the answers, so we are discovering. So there is only one option for us always. Okay, Ram, this is your question. We'll come up with the answer next week. And the whole week, before we even prepare for the next session, we are after this guy's question. Okay, where is this
Who is
astra?
the teacher?
Where is this astra? Where is it mentioned? And in the course, see, the beauty is in the course of that finding about that astra, we actually got to know all the astra that were used during Mahabharata and Ramayana, all the names and the meaning, and whose astra it is. All this we came to know. And then 2 weeks he was absent. Okay, so this week we got the answer. What is this yawning astra? And we both say, okay, today we'll solve this Ram's question. And then we go into the class, and then before the recording starts, he's always the first one. So I say, Ram, I found out about your astra. And then he listened to the whole thing I said. Okay, and then he said, but ma'am, I found it in this 2 weeks. What is this astra? And I'm like, okay, then why didn't you tell me
It was
before?
not for you, it was for you.
Why didn't you tell me before when I started explaining? So he said, no, I thought I will just see if my understanding matches what you found. And
Krishna at his full play there.
yeah, he is like that for us. Okay,
Oh,
I
you
always
thought
think,
that you will not get questions. Okay, here you go.
yeah, that child is like, Special one.
Is he the child or is he the teacher?
Yeah, he is the teacher. No, that's what I am telling. No, now I feel that the children's batch is the most one. Like it's like a time bomb. Which bomb is going to go on now, go up now? You don't know who is going to ask which question, and then we just pray every time that it doesn't get caught in the recording. So we are like, okay, at least till the recording, you all don't raise hands. After that, you you say whatever you want. So like that, I think each class, everything is a learning only. You evolve. Yeah, sometimes your ego is put down. Like, how dare you think like that? You are
So the
not.
others are actually helping
Yeah,
uh,
I think till you need
evolution.
help, no, others won't disappear. I think that's the right answer, Sarananji. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Till you need others, they will be there. After a point, there will be no others. So if the others are reducing, then you know that okay, you are becoming non-judgmental slowly. Yeah.
You are becoming one.
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
Not
that's the right
non-judgmental.
word. Yes,
There is no
right
other
word.
to judge.
Yeah. You are merging into the oneness. Yes.
Jai Ho, Padma ji ki Jai Ho. Very nice.
No, sir. Krishna ji ki Jai Ho. That's what I have figured out. Only Krishna ji ki Jai Ho. He has a lot of leelas. Only leelas he is doing, I feel sometimes. And thoroughly enjoying, I feel. Yeah.
Any other questions, Sarananji? Manasaji, Deepaji, you have anything to ask?
No questions from my side.
So whatever Padmaji is describing, is it resonating? Are there any points that you would like to add to what she's saying? Do you agree with what she's saying?
Yes, mostly.
Okay. So there is some disagreement.
Not really. The way I understood is slightly different, maybe.
Yeah. Why don't you share, where is the difference?
I don't know if there is a difference really, but the way I understood is, uh, so the Karana itself is the Ishvara, and the Karya is the Jagat. So if I have to say in the individual level, since Ishvara is it's like Ishvara is present in all of in us, I refer as I. And due to ajnana, I don't know like who am I really. And I go on like here in the map also it is mentioned, due to desire we take actions, and due to actions we tied in a karma bandhana. And due to this karma bandhana, the impression will create, and it sits in our subconscious mind. This is what how I understood. And since I have the ajnana, this is deep rooted in my subconscious mind. I always see that there are duality in the jagat. Um, so that's how I don't see that all is one. Everything is Brahman. I don't see that. But there is only one thing that I have to understand through Nididhyasa. But since I have these all the Karya Karana Sambandha, I always see there are two people like me and other thing, me and other job is existed, me and money is exist, me and a relationship exists. But once I understand this, then I understand that not really there are two. There is only one thing. This is what I understood. I don't know if it is correct or not.
Padmaji, what question would you ask Manasaji?
So I want to ask that when you say me, suppose I will take as me and karma.
Mm-hmm.
So when there is an action performed, who do you think is doing the action?
So in reality, even there is no the karta or it's the same. Ishvara is the same, but in ajnana, I would say like ego is doing that, and that's how all the karma bandhana starts.
Okay. Who is this saying who has the jnana? Because you only said no in why I am asking that is you said in reality there is no karta is what you said. But in ignorance,
Yes.
in ajnana, you said that there is a duality, right? So you think that you are the one who's doing, right? For
Yes.
example, if you're going to work,
Yeah.
so you think that you are doing the work.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because I'm not enlightened. I'm still in the ignorance state. I would say that.
You are not enlightened when you say, what do you mean?
What I mean when I say no, I'm not enlightened is through the indirect knowledge, I'm referring to all this knowledge. I haven't got the direct or the Aparoksha Anubbhti yet. This is what I mean. I'm going through this. I'm a seeker, but I haven't gained all the knowledge by myself. This is what I mean.
You're
So
looking
you
for
think
direct experience.
Sorry?
You're looking for direct experience.
Yeah.
So the question is, when you are expecting experience, how do you know what it is to realize, to identify that? Like,
Mhm.
it, if you know something that you are looking for, and when you get it, you know that, like, yes, this is what I was looking for, I got it.
I don't mean it the experience, but whenever in this context, whenever the impression will be reduced, whenever I contemplate on who am I, and then it is not the experience, but it's the lack of experience, I would say. Because when I realize who is I really, then there will be no such experience. This is what I understood. Because Prabhuji mentions this always that the peace of the mind is not the experience. Peace of mind is the lack of thoughts or the thoughtless state. Because whenever I eat something, whenever I crave something, for example, there are many thoughts that I want to eat. Whenever I ate, it became one in me and less experience, lesser thoughts, and this is how I get the peace of mind for a while. Yeah.
Okay.
so lack of any experience for you is like you're closer to self-realization
It
is
is
your
peace of mind, I would say. I won't say like lack of experience is the state of enlightenment. The state of near to the experience of state of mind is Aparoksha Anubbhti. It's like the indirect experience, I would say, which is in the mind. But the near to the experience is the understanding of the neti process. I'm not the body, I'm not the mind. This is the understanding. Not only the understanding in the mind level, but also the very deep rooted understanding, I would say.
Okay. Okay, I'm hearing two contradictory things. One is you're saying the Aparoksha Anubbhti is something which is like related to the mind. Okay, whether you want to call it as an experience or what, I'm not sure, but that is how I got the statement. Like, okay, uh, Aparoksha Anubbhti, you're saying is it's related to the mind, but you also have an understanding that I am beyond the mind. These are two contradictory statements, is what I think. How do you
No,
like
the both
reconcile?
is no. The what my understanding is, both is to understand I'm beyond the mind.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay. Do you think self-realization is a state that you have to reach?
yeah.
Okay. I am saying that it is not a state, it is who you are.
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay. Because see, if I say state, if we
Mm-hmm.
can directly relate it to solid, liquid, or gaseous, the
Mm-hmm.
three states of water,
Yeah, yeah.
it is not permanent, isn't it? It is temporary.
Yeah, the
It is
state could
it
be
is it is
temporary.
it is changeable, right? That's
Yeah,
what I mean. Water can become ice, water can become vapor. They are interchangeable,
mm-hmm.
but this is who you are. That means it's permanent. It's eternal. You cannot change it. So, uh, I wouldn't call it a state.
Yeah, agree. For the sake of to make my point, I would say state, but it's not the state. It's the understanding of who am I really. Because um, when I understand that I'm not the all of this that I was referring to, then I would understand like who am I really. Then I would get the understanding like how the world works, and why I was seeing the duality everywhere, and why I was not able to see mine in everything, the consciousness in everything. So then I would understand who am I, then that is called enlightenment.
Okay, but how you say it, I find it like conditional, isn't it? You are putting a condition that when what I think or who I think I am all goes away, then I will reach enlightenment.
It's
Correct?
not condition, it's the removing of conditions.
Yeah, removing of conditions, that is okay. But what I'm saying is, you said no. Okay. For example, what I mean is, uh, I am playing. Just now I said I play different roles, right, in a
Mm-hmm.
day.
Mm-hmm.
I am a woman. I am a mother. I'm a wife. I am also an employer somewhere. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I am a daughter. I'm a daughter-in-law. So many roles, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
While you are interacting with this world, at
Mm-hmm.
any point, do you think these roles disappear completely? Is it
Uh,
possible?
no. The roles may not disappear, but I would understand like in every being there is the consciousness, and the consciousness in everyone is same. The awareness in everyone is same, and that's how I would relate. I don't think so that the roles will disappear. Those are impermanent. They may change in a time, but the roles and the people may not. This is my understanding again. So the roles or the people may not disappear. The way I may react to those roles may through enlightenment it may change, or the roles may change, but I don't think so that the people or the roles may disappear.
Okay.
Correct
So,
me if I'm wrong.
no. See, there is nothing to
Mhm.
correct, is what I have understood from Sir all these years. Uh,
Yeah.
each one comes at whatever point we are of understanding.
Mhm.
And one single statement can mean different to
Yeah.
different people in this group, depending on how much is their understanding. So there
Mhm.
is nothing really to uh, correct per se. But uh, how I see it is that, see, uh, if you know who you are, or
Okay.
your behavior towards others in the various
Mhm.
roles you play will not change only after you are self-realized.
Mhm. Okay.
Uh, this is something I have observed personally.
Okay.
And self-realization is not something away from you. Like, okay, uh, when we initially start understanding it, we think like, okay, it is like some degree. Okay, so
Mhm.
you study 3 years and then you get that degree.
Okay.
Something like that is the understanding. I have to reach somewhere. And most of the time it is like, because it is associated with words like bliss, happiness, and if we find that there is a lack of bliss in our life, so we keep searching for it, just like we search for the happiness and bliss in all the material things in life. That is what we are after, isn't it? Ultimately, why do we work? Why do we earn money? Why do we want a house? Because momentarily, like you said, momentarily, we feel there is something that I have got. So now I am full. Now I am not lacking anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah.
Uh, so that is where the desire is arising, right? Even if you connect to that diagram that you connected to before.
Yeah, yeah.
So the desire, why you want to work, there is a desire behind it. I want money, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
or I want some position in my office,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Similarly, if I am working at a home, okay, what can I get in return is mostly the motive of why you have a desire to do something. You are looking for something which might lead you to happiness or bliss, is what your thought is. And maybe you are getting it also temporarily for whatever short period you are getting it. But then again, the seeking started because it is not always there. It is
Mm.
not permanent, and you want that to be permanent. That is why you have started to seek, where is that permanent happiness really? It's not, I'm not getting it from all these temporary things. I'm not getting it in this material world. Buying a house is not giving it to me. Or, I don't know, getting this position in the office is not giving it to me. So, where else is it? So, I just want you to think about, uh, is it somewhere really you can reach self realization? Is it somewhere you can reach? Or where else is it there? Where can you find it? If it is not somewhere you can reach, then where is it?
Uh, so what I'm trying to express my understanding is, so for example, you mentioned I want some recognition or maybe money through my job. So that is the desire to work. Okay. So now I understand that's not the really the truth. Everything is in me. Okay. But still I have to perform my duty. So now I still do it, the work, but I do it in the sense of karma yoga. But since the realization do not come over a day, I may still have the impressions of my past karma. That is may come as a desire, though I'm doing as uh, a karma yoga, but somewhere the desire still may arise. Okay, so that is how I'm telling. Um, the realization, I understand now the point that it's not the somewhere the state to reach, but it's in me. But this understanding won't come like easily. That's how I would say that this is some, I know it's not somewhere to reach, it's here only I have to understand. But still that interacting or with the world or something, um, it may not be the state, but these are the impressions that I have to remove. That's what I mean by these things. uh, because even I do in the karma yoga sense, somewhere if the person is not interacted me as I expected, somewhere it may hurt, but I have to understand that in the day to day life I have to understand that, okay, let it be, it may not, it's not the no the final thing. He may acted because of his ego, let it be, but let's forgive and forget everyone, the sense will come later. um, yeah, so what I have to remove in the day to day life is the deep rooted impressions. That's what I would say, that it's somewhere to reach, but it's in me, but to be reached within me also I have to remove all the unwanted impressions, I would say.
Manasaji, when you look at this picture, the map,
Yeah, yeah.
What part of the map appears permanent and what part of the map is impermanent?
So I is only the permanent, everything else is impermanent.
When you use the word permanent,
Mm-hmm.
can you explain it in terms of time and space? What do you mean by permanency?
Time I would explain. Permanent is, for example, I go through, if I take my journey, I was a child and I was a adolescence. I was in adolescence and I'm at some age now. So the body changes, the mind changes, but the awareness it remains. So I would say that every other thoughts, even the karma changes, but only the thing awareness is permanent.
Yeah. So the permanent aspect in you, which you
Mm-hmm.
refer as I,
Yeah.
so with respect to time and space, can you describe its nature? When you use the word permanent, what exactly is
What exactly is?
Meant by permanent?
Okay, so it means which is not changeable is permanent.
Correct. Which is
Yeah.
not changeable. But
Yeah.
where do you experience change? And how do you experience change? So if I
Change.
understand the nature of change,
Yeah.
I can also understand the change nature of what is not changing, no?
Yeah. The change I experience in the world.
Correct.
That I would say. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So which means that there is something called as a world.
Hmm.
Is the world represented in the picture, in the map that you are seeing? Is the world represented?
No, no,
It is not represented.
no.
Okay. What is world? Where is world?
It's in mind.
Okay. So world is in mind.
Yeah.
And how does it appear in the mind? As what does it appear in the mind?
As I don't know this exactly, but there is how it is reflected. There is a large theory of that, the huge theory of that, like how all the tanmatras are reflected and all. But I don't know this exactly that how Jagat appears in mind.
Okay. So now, um, have you been to uh, Klamjashu?
What? Sorry?
Klamjashu.
No, no,
Okay. Where is it? Any idea?
no,
Okay. What it may be? Any idea?
no.
Okay. So till few moments back, what
Okay.
Klamjashu in your world?
I don't know that. That's what I thought.
Till some moments ago, till you heard this word Klamjashu,
Mhm.
was it in your world?
No, it was unknown.
It is unknown.
Yeah.
Now, I've created a word called Klamjashu. What do you
Okay.
think it may be?
Sorry?
I've created a word called
Okay.
Klamjashu.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think it may be?
The thing is unknown to me, so I think that is unknown to me.
It is unknown to you.
Yeah.
But are you creating any association based on whatever way I use the sentence and the way I said it? Are you creating any association? Are you guessing what it may be?
It may be, I felt like it may be some concepts.
It may be some concepts, right?
Yeah.
So now, till some moment back, Klamjashu was not at all in your world because at
Yeah.
the end of the day, you are seeing the world within you, you said, in your mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So now I've introduced a word called as Klamjashu.
Mm-hmm.
Now that Klamjashu, depending upon how you hear it, how you process it, you may guess it as a place, you may guess it as a concept. There may be 100 different meanings that you're giving to this word.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Depending upon the meaning, you start relating to Klamjashu.
Okay.
So now, if I say, oh, Manasaji, I just made up that word.
Hmm.
I don't know what it means. I just made up that word. It means nothing to me. If I say like that,
Okay.
then you may say, oh, okay. Or if I say, oh, clumsy shoe. When somebody is very clumsy, when they throw their shoes away, I call them as clumsy shoe. It's a word to derogate somebody who is not very organized, not very neat. Now the word clumsy shoe has started becoming a certain behavior pattern.
Yes.
So what all this example is showing you about the world, what is it showing? This simple example, this simple experiment that we just now did.
Yeah. So
What is it showing to you?
it's showing it was unknown for a while ago, and now it has some meaning.
Now it has a meaning, right?
Yeah.
So now tell me, once again, I'll ask the question, what
Okay.
is world? So that
World
I do not
is
worry about, what the theory says. According
okay.
to your own simple way of looking at through this example and what you described, what is world maybe?
World can be thoughts in the mind.
Is it not? Just reflect on
It
it.
can be.
It can be, no?
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
how do
But
you
we
relate to
contain
world?
like many thoughts. It may not appear in the world. So
That's okay. But it is in your world called as your mind. At the
mhm.
end of the day, at the end of the day, you only said, where is the world? In the mind.
Yeah.
How can it exist in the mind? As only
Through
thought,
impressions. Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, yeah. Correct.
So how you relate, what is world? So is the world a good place or a bad place, Manasaji?
It's both.
How do you say that?
Because if I look at the external world, there are good things also, like bad things like terrorism, other things also there.
Okay. So now I'll paint a small story.
Mm-hmm.
Let's reflect on that.
Okay.
So a child comes running home,
Okay.
and child shows to the mother a book and says, "Amma, Amma, my math teacher has given a equation to solve, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know." And the teacher said, "Take the help of your parents. Will you
Yeah.
help me?" Amma was busy doing something. Just for a moment, she glances at it, and there was something else also happening, cooking and many other things. So she wasn't able to focus clearly. So she said, "Oh, this looks like a very tough problem. I don't know why they have started giving these kinds of problems to children these days. In our times, usually in high school or in college time, we would get into these kinds of math equations. Looks like your father is free. Why don't you go to him and then ask him?" The child took the book and went to the father. He also glanced at it and he said, "Oh, this is very easy. Come, I'll help you. Okay, now I'll tell you a few steps. Okay, follow this step. Step number one. Done? Okay, all right. Now follow this. Step number two." Like that, he went through a few steps and then he said, "Now you see that. Now that is the answer. Easy, no?" So this is the situation. I painted the situation. Now, Manasaji, some questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, when the child ran
Mm.
with the book in the hand, what was written in the book?
The problem, the math problem.
Okay. At that point of time,
Mm.
in the mind of the child, is that particular, whatever the math equation that is written, something to solve, what you referred as problem, is it a easy problem or a difficult problem?
It wasn't exist in the child's mind whether it is easy or
So
difficult.
it is something that is on the book, and the teacher has asked me to do something called as a solving. That's all
Mm-hmm.
it is,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It's neither easy nor difficult.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's say the child moved to the mother. Now let's reflect on that situation.
Hmm.
What was written in the book when the child and the mother were interacting?
The same equation was written in the book.
Okay. In the mind of the mother, in that moment, how that particular situation looked like?
Uh, for the mother, it looked like it was a difficult problem.
Now, what may have come into the child's world?
So after the mother expressed that it is a difficult one, so the child may start to think that it can be a difficult one. She's not able to solve that.
So, till then, the situation, whatever was in the book,
Mm-hmm.
was the neutral to the child.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, the child may also think it's a difficult situation.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's go to the interaction between the daughter and the father. So now, what was written in the book at that moment?
The same equation.
Same equation. So the
Yes.
equation hasn't changed.
Yeah.
When the child ran into the home, same.
Mm.
When it was interacting with the mother, same. When it interacting with the father, same. But now in the father's world, how that equation looked like?
It looked easy to him.
Looked easy to him.
Yeah.
Just as a reflection, what
Mm-hmm.
may have made it look easy to him?
Maybe he had the previous knowledge of solving that, or for him, like he is, yeah, he may be well versed in solving that, and that might made him easy.
So maybe prior
Yeah.
experience or liking and love for that particular topic,
Mm.
all might have contributed to it being easy.
Yeah.
So where is that easy existing in that moment?
In his mind, I would
In
say.
his mind.
Yeah.
Now, what may happen in the child's mind?
So that erased the previous experience of the sense of that the equation was difficult, and since he knows that the child knows the step to solve that, that made him the child may think that it's easy now.
Again, will it automatically become easy for the child at this point?
No, after solving that, only the child may think that it is easy after knowing the steps to solve that.
Correct, right?
Yeah.
So, and will it erase the previous experience?
Erase, replace the previous experience can be.
Now the child is getting, oh, same situation. For
Mm,
some it is difficult, for some it is easy.
mm,
Now the child has the choice.
mm.
What do I want?
Okay.
Is it not?
Yeah.
At that point of time, the child also now has to ask the relevant question. How has it become easy for you, Daddy?
Mm.
Then only the child can actually go into making it easy, isn't it?
Yes.
Otherwise, the child can end up thinking, oh, it is easy for some, it is difficult for some.
Mm.
Or the child may end up accepting, oh, I like my mother more, so it is, she said difficult, so it must be difficult. Or
Mm.
I like my father more, he said easy, so it is easy for me. So, like that, the child can end up in various ways of looking at the same solution, right?
Mm.
Yeah. So, through this situation and this painting, whatever we just now reflected, what is that you and I can learn about the world?
Uh, so through this, we can learn as the experience of everyone's is different, and it comes from their mind. And we have to consciously choose what we want to choose.
So,
Yeah.
now, with respect to what is world,
Mm-hmm.
where is world,
Okay.
what is your answer if I pose these two simple questions?
Yeah, again, the world is in mind. Yeah, the collection of thought is mind.
And in whose mind?
In the individual mind.
In your mind, right?
Yeah.
So the world that you have, is it
Mm-hmm.
the same world that I'm just using as an example? Is it
Okay.
the same world that Padmaji is carrying?
No, she has the other mind. So the Prabhuji actually tells that one is the Ishvara mind.
Now, for the time being,
Okay.
just reflect on it with a simple, commonsensical day-to-day experience.
Okay. No, she has the different mind.
Okay. What may be the difference in your mind and in Padmaji's mind?
We have the different experiences, and the experiences shapes the different thoughts and how we process it. That makes two individuals' mind different.
Just like that, the child and the mother and the father,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The situation, the same situation was neutral to difficult to easy to now in the child's mind. If you were to follow the child's mind, maybe neutral about the what is written in the book to difficult to maybe easy to now question mark depending upon what the child chooses to accept, isn't it?
Yeah.
So all these changes are happening where? In the child's mind.
Yes.
Now child has a certain viewpoint about the world, so-called world.
Hmm.
So your world and Padmaji's world is much different.
Yes.
So she has shaped her world based on the experiences that she has had,
Okay.
isn't it?
Yes.
So is the world good or bad? If let's say I go and ask a plant, what do you think a plant may say?
May not express.
But if it
Yeah.
were to have a voice and if it could
Yeah.
express, what do you feel it
Okay.
could express?
It may say depend upon the condition. If it is well watered, well nourished, then it would say it may be a good world.
Very good. So you go and ask, say for example, a particular person,
Mm-hmm.
is the world good or bad? What do you think the answer may be?
Yeah, depending upon their experience, they would say good or bad. For
Wonderful.
example, let's take a person who is like happy throughout his life or met a very, very good scenarios, then he would say yes, it is a good world.
So what is shaping his answer at that particular point in time
Their experience.
is how they're relating to their
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah. Okay.
Right now, Padmaji also in her explanation, which I hope you heard, mentioned many things which are in a way has shaped her and how she used to relate to them and how she relates to them now.
Yeah.
Same experience. So for example, somebody came and slapped me.
Hmm.
I may be angry, I may be cursing, I may be revengeful, I may be heated up. That's the experience at that point in time. Maybe as I evolved, maybe I may relate to the same slapping experience as the most important turning point in my life when I could realize how anger can burn me from within and how I change from within. In whose hand are both these?
In my hand. I
In
mean,
your hand.
individual. Yeah.
So the way you relate to the world is the way you would express what the world is.
Hmm. Okay.
If I ask a question now, how is life, Manasaji, for you? How will you answer?
Yeah, good.
Now, how is that answer coming? Depending upon your perception about what you think the world is.
Hmm.
Isn't
Yes.
it? Because what do you mean as life? Oh, I'm living life. Where? In the world. So the way you relate to the world is the way you express about your life.
Yes.
A small 3-year-old, 4-year-old child, how is life if you simply ask, if it were to express, what do you think the expression would be?
Yeah, much positive.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, fast forward 15 years, 16-year-old, what may be the expression?
Yeah, it may be not as positive as he used to be at 4 years. He may express some disappointments,
What has made the difference?
the experiences.
Wasn't there any disappointments in the child's world? The child might have gone to build something, let's say the sandcastle, and the sandcastle might have fallen.
Yeah.
And now the same kind of a thing, but maybe a slightly at a different scale that youngster is doing. So has the disappointment of not being able to do something completely gone away?
And in adult age.
Yeah, whether it's a child or an adult,
Mm-hmm.
both are attempting to do something,
Yeah.
and both may succeed or both may fail.
Okay, the way they may, the experience itself may not much different, but the way they associate to that may be different at that two ages.
So again, what is this telling you and me?
The way we associate it to the situations.
So now in this map that you're seeing in front of you,
Mm-hmm.
what part of the map is related to world?
Impressions.
Is it only impressions?
Everything I would say, other than I, desire, impression, karma, karma phala, everything is in mind. The desire is in mind. The effect of desire, impression is in the mind. Karma is what we do, and karma phala again, whether it comes the way it's again comes as a thoughts initially, and that will again lead to good or bad. So since the mind itself is a world, then these are all things in the mind.
Correct, no? Do you agree?
Yeah.
So this part of the picture represents the world.
Hmm.
And this part of the picture, depending upon whether you're thinking about you or whether being you, if you're thinking about you, it represents the mind.
Hmm.
If you're being you, there is no thinking about you. You are there, therefore the world exists.
Okay.
Isn't it? Who's giving credence to the thoughts? Who is thinking? In
I.
whose presence the thoughts are happening?
Yeah.
Who is expressing about the world, about good, about bad, about that, about this?
I.
Which I is the important question.
Okay.
Which I?
Uh, which I means.
So, for example,
Hmm.
just as a question,
Okay.
you are a software engineer, correct?
Hmm.
Is your software engineering work nice?
Yes.
Is your can you describe what you exactly do in your software engineering work?
Yeah. I code. Yeah.
So you develop programs. In
Yeah.
what language do you develop programs?
Java.
Java. Are you a good Java developer?
Yeah.
So would you rate yourself on a scale of 5 at 4 and above?
Hmm. Yes.
Okay. Now, which I were we talking about so far?
The I here is the body and mind, I would say.
The I so
Hmm.
far we were talking about is
Hmm.
Manasaji playing the role of a
Yeah.
software engineer.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
And that software engineer is a role that Manasa is playing. Who is Manasa? Is Manasa software engineer or Manasa the one who is in this Vedanta session right now? Who is Manasa?
Uh, the I is the predominant I is different than the roles. So the roles we are talking now.
So fundamentally, the awareness, the consciousness is being labeled as manasa.
Okay.
However, during the role play, manasa as a software engineer emerged when I asked all those software engineering questions.
Okay.
Where was Manasa the software engineer, say some 30 years back?
Child.
Was she there?
No.
Manasa the software engineer was not there.
Yeah.
Much like that made up word that I used, it came into you.
Okay.
So Manasa the software engineer is a thought.
Okay. Okay.
Manasa the Vedanta student is a thought.
Okay.
After you started the Vedanta journey. But which Manasa has always been there?
The awareness was always there.
And that awareness is recognizing itself through the name called Manasa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is Manasa the reality?
No.
The label is not reality, but the behind the label, whatever, that is reality.
Okay. Okay.
So Manasa is just a label put to that reality.
Okay.
Without that label, how to recognize, how to play this game of life, how to have interaction, like how Padmaji answered. It's just to play the game of life, that there is me and others. But where is me? Where is software Manasa? In the mind. As what? As some thoughts.
Okay.
Where is your boss who comes and gives you work and says, do that, do this?
Yeah, in the role.
Where?
Mind.
In the mind only.
Okay.
How does the software Manasa relate to that boss, whoever it is? Depends upon experiences. Depends upon how Manasa, the software engineer, likes to think about that so-called boss. But all are thoughts only. And all the thoughts are represented here. This cycle. Because it is one thought that leads to the next thought.
Okay.
Isn't it?
Yes.
But who is the one who is beyond the thoughts?
Awareness.
Is this I.
Yeah.
However, this I, if it gets connected to any of the thoughts in this world, then it causes all the misery.
Okay. Okay.
Isn't it?
Yes.
So Manasa, the software engineer, may have a positive relationship with a thought called the boss. Then workplace looks nice. If Manasa, the software engineer, has a negative relationship with the so-called boss, then the workplace may look miserable.
Yes.
And that misery may cause certain feelings about, if somebody comes and says, how is the software environment? Very bad. Don't even think of joining software companies.
Yeah.
So now that impression leads to further actions. I should get away from there. Sometimes it may be gross generalization. All software companies are like this. So let me change my workplace itself. I'm tired, sick and tired of software. I just don't want to do anything to do with software. I want to go to something else.
Yeah.
But the root impressions haven't got modified. The root hasn't got modified. So same pattern will repeat, but in different circumstances.
Okay.
Just by changing the place, the underlying thoughts haven't got modified. Now they will appear in different forms. It may be, I'm not saying you, but somebody may change a profession and may become, let's say, for example, typically many people want to get into education. They want to become teachers. So the software engineer has become now a teacher. Now the teacher will not have a software boss, but will have a principal.
Mm.
And the principal may still may trigger the same emotions.
Yeah.
Why? Because the underlying phenomena is not understood clearly by that software engineer or now the teacher, whoever that is. So therefore, they're still caught up in the cycle.
Okay. Yeah, understandable.
Yeah. So the I, who's always there, who has no particular labeling called as that I or this I, without the label,
Mm.
are you there?
Yes. I'm there, but I'm unable to recognize it at times.
That is okay.
Yeah.
Able to recognize at times is also a statement coming from where?
The role itself. Because I'm immersed in the role.
How can you not be there at any point of time?
I'm there, but unable to recognize.
I'm not able to recognize. Some role is making that
Yeah.
statement.
Yeah. Yeah.
But is that confusion there for the real I?
No.
No. Now, are you answering any of this based on any book knowledge?
No.
Is that your?
No, I mean not book knowledge, but so far based on whatever we discussed, based on that I'm
It's
answering.
okay.
Yeah.
But isn't that your inner answer?
Yeah.
That is Aparoksha Anubbhti.
Okay. Okay.
That I am this real I, and
Mm-hmm.
real I is the basis of everything else, and this real I is the only reality.
Okay.
And this real I existence is
Yeah.
not a matter of conceptualization. Conceptualization requires mind.
Okay.
Conceptualization requires world, thoughts. The real I is not a concept in that sense.
Okay.
Meaning what? It is not something that you see somewhere else in some place called mind. Oh, I'm seeing my real self. In a way, the real I is seen through all these myriad thoughts, seen through all these myriad forms.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
Anything else you would like to express or ask, Manasaji? Hariom Satyaji. Deepaji, is there something that you would like to express?
No, sir.
Hariom Vijayji.
Hariom ji. So Satyaji, we took today fourth question, and in a way we have come to the end of that. Anything anybody else has to add or ask? Okay. So, Padmaji, yeah, Sarvanji, sorry.
Um, maybe I will share my view. Just to put it in English, the Karya Karana we started with cause and effect, right? Um, and can I say that the karma or the action is the in-between block between cause and the effect, and the effect is the phala, karma phala. And all these come in the presence of Karta. Well, not Karana is Karta. Can I say that?
So the concept of karma and karta is possible only in the mind.
Yeah.
So as
I
long
think as long as there is karta, there is karma.
correct.
And karma is both the cause and the effect. So karma is the cause and karma phala is the effect. And the karma that we do because of the karma phala. I mean,
Why do you
whatever
say
we are
karma as cause? Because the cause is ignorance, and the ignorance drives the
ignorance,
action.
Ignorance, whatever karma we do, karma is the actions, karma is the destiny. Okay.
Right, so the karana is the
past actions is the karma, destiny. Right? Karma, as it is all the actions that we are doing. So all the actions that we are doing will result in karma phala. So karma is the cause, karma phala is the effect. Now, whatever karma phala we are having, are we being a karta, again, are we doing something? Being the karta with the doership, or are we accepting it? Or we are doing it with non-doership. If there is non-doership, acceptance, there is no further karma. Now, if we are again with, because of ignorance, as you said, we are doing something with doership, with ignorance, we are still creating further karma. Again, that will lead to karma phala. So karma is the cause of karma phala. Karma phala is the effect.
Yeah. Just to make it more granular, then I would say prarabdha karma is in some ways the karana.
Yes.
And the current karma is the effect of that. Right.
Your prarabdha is what you are carrying
that
as
is why
impression.
karma is both the cause and the effect of.
Yeah. The prarabdha is what you are seeing here in the picture as impression. And what you picked up to execute on is what you can call as desire.
And that's why I didn't want to say Karana as Karta, but all this is in the presence of Karta.
So the impersonal I is not the Karta at all.
Yeah.
The Karta is also a claimer who's saying, I did it. I'm doing it.
The Jiva.
That's the idea that's the truth that Sri Krishna teaches. Prakritehe kriyamanani gunaihi karmani sarvashaha. Ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. Ahankara vimudhatma. The one who thinks, you know who I am, claims to be the doer. Ahankara vimudhatma. So that ahankara, so somewhere in this picture, the I-ness, who did it? That I. Which I? we claim some I. So who wrote the software? So software I. Who did the cooking? The cooking I. Who did the teaching? The teacher I. So that I, that role I, when that role I claims the doership, then that role I becomes the Karta.
Karta.
So in reality, there is only this happening. It is not that, these are separate. That's why it is gunaihi, prakrutehe kriyamanani. The nature of the existence is a constant change. And change is what you and I are referring as good change, bad change, want this change, don't want this change. All that is how you and I are expressing our affinity or our, let's say, no affinity. What is it? Is there another equivalent duality word for affinity? When you're closer to something and when you're not closer to something.
Yeah.
Raga dvesha would be the
Like and
best.
dislike. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, like and dislike. Raga
Anti-affinity.
dvesha.
Anti-affinity, we'll put it.
Right. So anti-affinity.
Software term.
Right. Raga dvesha. Right. So it's a raga dvesha inculcated in that thinker that drives the whole wheel of this motion. All the movement is based on raga dvesha. That's why these are the two wheels, the good and the bad, on which this entire mechanism is rolling. As long as there is an personal I. And personal I exists in the mind. Personal I is not a reality. The reality is the impersonal I. And for the impersonal I, from the impersonal I viewpoint, all that is, there is no duality. There is no impersonal I and something else. There is no I and the world. So, Advaita. So there is only happening. Then there is no more Karya, Karana. There is no cause and effect. It is a spontaneous occurrence of creativity. So Karya Karana as a cause and effect can be explained only from the viewpoint of the personal I.
Yeah.
And when we move to the domain of the reality,
Personal I is where this Karta is.
Ahankara Vimudhatma.
Yeah.
What Sri Krishna paints as Ahankara Vimudha Atma. Look, Ahankara Vimudha Atma. The consciousness is under the Brahma, Vimudha. Vimudha. It's a Maya. That's why it's a Vimudha. Mudate is like confusion. Vishishta Mudate, Vimudha. Ahankara Vimudhatma. Under the spell of Ahankara. Aham Akara. You know who I am. So for a moment, the consciousness has gotten into a momentary illusion. So like how Manasaji mentioned, no? There is clarity, but at moments it feels like. Or like how all of us many a times have expressed, no? It's all clear, but in some moment. So when that vimudhate, ahankara vimudhatma, vimudha atma is the important phrase. Atma has come under the spell of the ahankara. Ahankara vimudha atma. Karta ham iti manyate. I am the doer. So the role is the doer. Iti manyate.
I did this karma.
Ah,
I become the Karana.
I become the. Then of course.
I becomes every.
Then my karma. Yo.
in some ways, this Ahankara Mudatma also becomes the creator. The fifth question for all the karma.
Yeah. So again, there are two kinds of creation. There's a spontaneous, natural creation,
Mm.
right? There is no one who claims, right?
Claims.
Then there
Oh,
is the
clap.
I did it creation.
Yes.
There is a claimer and what is claimed, and then there is accounting that is applicable.
Mm. Ah, the moment I is attached,
Ah,
the account start.
account starts. What a magical phenomenon, no? It is there, but not really there.
That's why I asked last time when I hear that I want challenge, I want to do it. Ahankara Mudatma wants to like entertain that person. It's it's getting deep into the loop,
Yeah.
and we
So,
are
Yes,
yeah.
Deepak.
Yes, Deepaji.
so I have a question, sir.
That's
Yes,
it.
How
Ji.
can we
I'm
do
done now.
something? How can
I
we
was
do
waiting
something?
to ask the question.
Come
How
again,
can
Deepak.
we? Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, Ji. Yes, Ji.
How can we do something as a service selflessly? Because we'll be having how much ever we think that we are doing it selflessly, we'll be having it in our mind that I am doing this.
Sure. So it is very important to understand what is meant by service. So again, when there is a doership, very much okay to do the work as a service with the doership notion, no problem. For example, like how Padmaji mentioned, I am teaching children Bhagavad Gita. And as she put her mind and as she continued to do it, she is able to recognize certain changes, which is enabling her to now feel the way she is feeling. So it's perfectly okay. But the important thing is do the service. Meaning what? Something that you're doing for the benefit of somebody else. Do it with your fullest involvement. And you will find your answer naturally there.
Okay.
So don't worry. If you are, for example, if you're going to be teaching somebody, okay, I want to be the best possible teacher. Meaning what? How can my student learn the best? And my student really knows and does in whatever the topic that I'm teaching much better than I am. Is what a good teacher would think like, right? Being a best teacher means, right?
Yeah.
So be that best teacher. So just put all your energy towards that, being the best possible teacher.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Ji. All right. Anything else anybody wants to express? Okay. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Hari Om. Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.